Okay, do we start?
Shall we start? That was me trying to do Annette, sorry.
So may we start?
So may we start. Oops, yeah.
May we start?
Hello.
We're two rats that came together for one man.
Adam designated driver, baby. The rats need to be fed on schedule or they'll get sick.
Shannon and Shelley will be discussing pre-Kylo Ren Ben Solo. You are listening to Great Driver.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Right. Hello. Hello. Should we address the different backdrop or?
You know, we were talking about Ben for too long and we had to stop.
Literally.
Due to scheduling, we filmed our pre-Kylo Ren Ben Solo episodes on 2 separate days. Therefore, there might be some back and forth between clips from both days.
Because somebody had to start adulting.
Look, I'm making my money. What's that?
Can you see it?
What is it?
Oh, it's the Solo dice. The Falcon.
Oh.
The Han Solo dice.
The Solo dice. It's Daddy's dice.
Yes.
Daddy Solo, not Ben Solo Daddy.
Do you know why Han Solo has those in the Falcon?
Tell me why. Tell me why.
He won the Falcon with the...
Oh, that's with Lando?
Mm-hmm.
Because that was in the prequel. I watched that. So the Solo movie that didn't do very well. I only watched it because Emilia Clarke was in it. And then I think, didn't Donald Glover play Lando?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. That's why when I rewatched Girls, I was like...
It's
Lando!
Uncle Rambo! Aww.
Oh, I bet he was the best uncle ever. I feel like... Okay, this is my headcanon. I have a headcanon for Ben and Lando, that Uncle Wamwo, when Ben was like around 14 or 15 years old, he took him to his first strip club.
Uncle Wamwo.
I feel like that's something he would do as an uncle. He's like, okay, it's your birthday, kid. Don't tell your mom. Let's go. I'm in.
First of all, he had a furry for an uncle, and then he also had a black uncle. Like, hello, you can't get cooler than that. No wonder he was so slick. Han Solo is your dad, and then having a black uncle. Like, fuck.
He has a Mexican uncle, too. I mean, Chewie. Chewbacca's Mexican. Come on.
Oh, I said he was the furry one, but that's true.
Yeah, always in the shop. Just fixing the Falcon.
I saw this comedian one time. He was stereotyping Mexicans. He said Chewbacca from Star Wars is Mexican. Because his name is Chewie. And he's a mechanic.
Stereotype, Shelly. What the fuck?
I know.
Gotta fix up the Falcon. Mi amigo's Falcon.
Yeah, I have an uncle that has his own shop, so like... it's not that
You're
far
like, it's
off.
fine. I got it, yeah.
The Rise of Kylo Ren. We get a glimpse
Yes.
into Ben Solo's life pre-Force Awakens. Basically, he gets sent off to the temple to an uncle he doesn't really know. And this is around 15 ABY, so he should be like around 10 years old when Leia and Han yeet him off into the galaxy on his own to become a Jedi.
Gets yeeted. Oh my god.
I mean, come on. Literally what they did. They're like, boo-bye. Bye, Felicia. And he was there for 13 years. From 10 years old to 23. Yeah, so the temple burned down in 28 ABY. I mean, we already established that it was not him. So it cuts to the temple burning. Let me tell you, people. I knew it. I knew it. It wasn't his fault. He never fucking burned the temple down. He did not. And the comic, you can read it and see it with your own eyes. He did not burn down the temple. He never killed anybody until he chose to turn to the dark side, which comes later. Luke did the whole saber out, wanted to kill him in his sleep. He used the Force to like crumple his hut. And then he's unconscious. And when he wakes up, the temple's burning. He had the exact same experience as Luke. He sees everybody's dead. How did that happen? And then you see there's a lightning strike. Who has the ability to conjure lightning? I wonder. So he's not necessarily the one that destroyed the temple. That did it.
Right.
So.
You fucking Snoke bitch.
Oh, bitch. So who was at the temple? Basically, it was Luke Skywalker. Of course, Ben Solo. And then, like, a handful of students around his age when he first came there. So it was Ty, Vo, and Hennix. Those were, like, the closest to his age-ish. And they kind of contribute to his downfall. Vo is introduced first. She is a young Jedi who is severely envious of Ben Solo because, you know, in her eyes, he's the golden child and, you know, he has so much power. He can do everything. He's good at swordplay. He's good at mastering the Force and, you know, he's good at everything. And she always tries to surpass him or just like level up to him, which she can't because he's more powerful. And so she grows envious of him and always sees him as a competition, or he's the standard in her mind of what she has to be. You know, she has to surpass him. She probably has her own struggles with that, but it's very important to what happens when the temple burns down, which I'll get to later. Hennix he's the funny one. He's kind of like the comedic relief, I feel like, in their dynamic. He's really, really smart, and he sees everything as a puzzle. He sees the Force as something to figure out, not necessarily control, but something to understand and learn more about. So he has a better approach to it than Vo. And then there's Ty, who is, out of the three, my favorite. And I would kind of call him his best friend. Ish. Like, he's the one that wants to understand Ben. He's the one that is like, you know, you're kind of closed off. I can see you're struggling with shit. Talk to me. But Ben can't, like, because he never learned how to, you know, talking about feelings and things that are taboo topics. He never learned how to open up to people because Leia and Han don't do that. Luke sure as hell doesn't. So he just kind of learned over the years to suppress everything. It's not that he doesn't trust Ty. It's just he doesn't know how to articulate his emotions and articulate what he's going through. It doesn't really say like how powerful he is, like, you know, but he's the one that kind of wants to be connected to Ben. So I feel like he's like his only friend.
I also feel like Zvo can't surpass Ben because Ben is stronger. And of course, Luke being the Jedi Master, you know, he's, you know, saying like, well, sometimes people's doors open sooner than others and blah, blah, blah. Knowing fully well Ben's ancestry, you know, and just kind of giving this blatant excuse to like encourage Vo, but it's really, she's never bought it. She's like, no, he's far more powerful than me and always will be. And that just angers her. As a Jedi, I think what's great too, and this comes later in the comics, but Ben really points out all of their flaws and why it's impossible to be the perfect Jedi.
And that's what makes Ben so smart in that sense, because like he already knows intuitively that you can't be the perfect Jedi because every person has a light and dark side, whether you're a Jedi or not. Like whether you're powerful in the Force or not, everybody has a light and dark side. You know, you can't be one or the other.
Right. And the fact that Vo is so quick to betray Ben too, which of course we'll get to, but I also just want to touch on that. I do like Ty the most as well, just because he doesn't immediately doubt Ben and immediately want to like go after him and like betray him. Like a lot of Jedis, like once they see that darkness, they're like, okay, bye. We gotta eliminate the threat. And he's literally like, dude, we've been in training with him for over a decade. Like, why can't we just hear him out for a second?
For real.
So
yeah. But like he's not super quick to turn on Ben, but later he does see, which again we'll get into in a minute. He does see a mistake that later turns out just was an accident. Like nothing actually, like Ben didn't actually do anything. He thinks, oh my god, he did kill someone, you know? And then he flips too, and then he's like, okay, you're done. And I'm just like, the fuck? So I'm so glad that Rey continued to like hold on to hope and the light in Ben.
But don't you feel like he also was afraid to talk about it because he's had those voices in his head his whole life and like no one knew. And they probably made it very clear, you cannot talk about that we are talking to you by any means because everyone will shun you and you will be completely isolated. So how the fuck would Ben open up with that? And then knowing probably Ty would be like, okay, you're part of the dark side. Blah.
I mean, he was groomed his whole life by Snoke, you know, with the voices in his head. The thing is, like you just said, like he fed him his fears and also sort of confirmed Ben's fears. You know, like they're gonna turn on you if you show a little bit of your dark side, which in the end they did exactly that, you know? So like Snoke was so smart about that. Like he set him up for failure. Of course, like, you know, he's on the dark side. He wants him to turn to the path of pain and suffering. So of course he's going to set that up for him and go, hey, guess what? Your parents called you a monster. Told you, you know, and Ben's like, oh fuck, yeah, he was right. Shit, the whole time, you know?
Was that a Miss Doubtfire's impression?
Yeah.
Or like reference? The whole time. That was so good.
So, of course, there's like this self-isolation because he's super, super careful because, of course, he's scared that they're going to turn on him if he opens up even just a little bit. So he learns to, like, that's his coping mechanism. He learns to, like, what does Ty call it? A black box or something? Or, wait, what does he call it? He's like, oh, you're just so closed up and there's something that you just lock away. And he's like, well, you know, I'm just going through shit or whatever. And so suppressing all those emotions, of course, he isolates himself. And I think through his abandonment issues, that just furthers his fears. That kind of also confirms everything. I have abandonment issues. So if I speak up about this specific topic or any of my emotions, everything that's going on in my head, they're going to abandon me again. And all of these things actually do happen. My baby.
His biggest fears came true.
Yeah.
But that was the whole plan, you know, like.
That's why, like, you are not alone is the first thing he says to Rey when she's like, I've never felt so alone. He's like, you're not alone. Because he knows what that feels like. So that's why it's so fucking powerful. Like, that's the first thing that comes to mind is like, you're not alone. I will be here. We're enemies, but I will be here for you.
And it's not even, it is the line, but then when they pan to Kylo sitting there with that face, like he's about to start crying. Like he looks so emotional sitting there with Rey. You know what I mean? To me, he does. Like he just looks so sad and solemn and just like, yeah.
Yeah, he's just like, I see you. I see what you're going through because that happened to me too. Ben Solo is the symbol or the embodiment of like multiple different mental health issues, you know, and like what can go wrong. And that's why I hate Tros so much. Like not the movie, but his ending, the fact that he died. It's like you go through all of these mental health issues. You tell the world through these movies, these are the issues, because obviously you always transfer something to real life. So all of these issues are happening in real life. This person symbolizes, and then you kill him off. The message says, even if you do better, even if you overcome all of your struggles, it does not matter. You do not matter. That's the message behind that. And I think that's why I struggled so hard with it, because
well, it's not like he caused any of it himself. It was all put onto him.
Exactly.
So it's like, that's what I deserve. Everyone gets to put their trauma and judgment and put all this pressure on me as a person to then create all these mental problems for me. And so then that's the solution to make it better. And that's literally what our society is trying to prevent. Not that he killed himself, but like he definitely sacrificed himself thinking that I don't deserve to live because Rey is dead. I would rather her die than me live without her in this time of goodness, in part of the good side again. Huh?
You said, I'd rather have her die.
No, that's what Ben is saying. No, so you're right. Yes, I'd rather die than have Rey die. Yes. Yeah. You're like, I'd rather have her die, bitch. No.
Yeah. Fuck her.
No, fuck Rey. Fuck. He's saying I'd rather die.
Or just live a life without her, yeah.
Yes, exactly. Because anything that he would have came back to the good side for is gone. His parents, his friends. I mean, I guess he could hang out with Poe, but that'd be some real unpacking. Just like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be so funny. I would I would eat their relationship up.
Have you seen the series of those drawings of like if Ben survived and came back to the resistance camp with Rey?
Yeah.
And then Poe and him were sitting down having a drink, having a conversation. That was so well done.
There's just so much going on. Not only does he have all of those issues that we just mentioned, but he also has that inner conflict with himself. First of all, of course, the dark side and the light side are literally conflicting inside of him. It's like a tug of war. something he doesn't understand whatsoever because nobody fucking told him about Vader, about his lineage. So, of course, he doesn't know that, like, the genes part of it, his genealogy,
Right.
And then, of course, he's, like, experiencing the light side and the dark side at the same time, because he has that influence, obviously, from Luke, and then he has the influence of Snoke, or Palpy. And so he's, like, constantly conflicted, but he doesn't fully understand either side. Knowing that he's not allowed to experience both at the same time, even though it's super, super natural and it's okay for him to do so. He thinks, because he has been told to not touch it. And it's a taboo topic. It's basically a sin if you dabble in the dark arts. Yeah, so there's that. The not understanding what it is that he's feeling, not being able to articulate it, and not being able to share it with somebody. Just keeping it bottled up. Oof, that must be hard. Also, just the golden child thing again. Like, he knows he's put on this pedestal. He's Luke Skywalker's nephew. He's Leia Organa's son. He's Han Solo's son. He's Queen Amidala's grandson, Anakin Skywalker's grandson. He has all of these legends to live up to. He always has to be the best, but he's never good enough. He's always told, like, oh, step down. You're still not good enough. You're not good enough for the light side because you have that dark side in you. You're not good enough for the dark side because you still have a little bit of light side in you. And then he constantly has to prove himself. The whole galaxy is talking about it,
Yeah, and honestly, like, despite what he thinks, he really is better than all of them.
Yeah.
As far as, like, his strength, his capability, all his training, his agility,
100%.
his intelligence, he is all of the strengths of them combined. But the pressure of it all is just what was so impending on him. But the fact that he encapsulated all the good bits of everybody in him.
Yeah, basically. What I'm going to say is, like, just what he's probably thinking, not what's the fact.
Right.
So he is a failure as a son because his parents sent him off because they didn't know how to cope with him. Like, they didn't know how to deal with him. So he has that sense of failure as a son. Then he has the sense of failure as a nephew because he can never live up to Luke Skywalker. And he's also a failure as a Solo because he can't be a pilot. Like, he's an amazing pilot, but he has to be a Jedi, so he can't be a very good pilot. You know what I mean? So he feels like he's letting down his dad because his dad never really wanted him to be a Jedi. He wanted him to be a pilot as well, so he feels like he's letting his dad down. He feels like he's letting his mom down because she shipped him off. He feels like he's letting Luke down because of that dark side pull. Ugh. There's just so much. I feel so bad for him. And, like, that's one of the things that I feel like people can relate to him, like, most. Because it's just, like, so real. There's so many, like, in society, and whether it's your job, whether it's school, whether it's relationships, whether it's being a parent. There's always these expectations you have to meet. And I'm just like, no, you don't have to. You are the best version of you. Nobody can do it like you. Just be happy. There are standards that were made by society just so people can function, so people, can work. But they're so high, so ridiculously high. And, of course, so many people have burnouts and, get depressions or panic attacks or anxiety attacks because they just can't cope with all of these expectations. And it's just like, you are enough. You are enough. But then, of course, there's all these people, like, all these voices in your head that are like, you have to be better. You have to do this. You gotta do this. There's no time for...
Right.
There's no time for relaxing. How dare you? You're going on a vacation? How dare you? It's like...
I know. You're going to use this vacation time that you earned? Oh.
Like, that mentality already starts in kindergarten. In preschool. It's insane. If basically, it's like, if you don't have straight A's, you're nothing. There's just no individuality anymore. It's just everybody has to have the same standard or you're not good enough. People aren't machines. They're human. And some people have strength in math. Some people are good at algebra, some people are good at French, languages, or building shit. Computers.
Great with computers.
Okay, Sackler.
Yeah.
Computers. We know Adam Driver. We know.
The fact that people are like, oh, he's so whiny. Like, fuck you. Those are the exact people that are just nodders and like, yes, okay, I will bow to the system, and then because they can't meet that level, they'll look down on other people that kind of fall away from that system.
Well, it's also people that don't take the time to learn Kylo's story.
That, but also the people that look down on men that cry. Like, oh, you're not a real man if you cry. Bitch. When? Since when? The most healthy men are the men that cry.
Well, I mean, he didn't even cry until he became Ben again, first of all. But then second of all, it's just he was just so angry.
Yeah, and like I get the frustration and the anger. Like he wasn't able to develop a sense of emotion regulation. Everything was always swept under the rug. He was lied to constantly, and he was told, or maybe he wasn't told, but the experiences and reactions and behavior from others told him indirectly that speaking about emotions, especially negative ones, is a no-no. So of course he's going to suppress it. You have to work, you have to function, you have to be good. He had a fucking burnout. Basically, Kylo Ren is the burnout and depression version of Ben Solo. He had no fucking breather.
Well, it's so insane because, like, the way that you read how Snoke interacts with Ben in the comic, and then you go to, like, how he is in, like, the movies with Kylo, that bonding, like, he really is his master. Like, Luke was his master, but Snoke was his real master. So then it makes the elimination of him for Rey so much more powerful. And that's something that ran through my mind when I was reading the comic. I was thinking, like, wow, like, he's hugging Snoke. Like, he's his buddy.
Yeah.
Like it was
that's
crazy.
Like the thing. I'm going to show it real quick. By the way, when the first time I read this, I was like, ugh, gross.
Yeah, like, ew. He's like, and what the fuck is he wearing?
Yeah. What the fuck is that mullet hat? Like, he's hugging him. He gave him the false illusion of a safe space. Ben thought, oh my god, this person, I'm gonna, like, pour my heart out to him. I'm gonna, like, trust him fully. And then he's just manipulating him and abusing him. And then there's another, hold on. There's one that right here, he's, like, holding the side of his head and, like, his cheek, like somebody who loves you would do. You know, like a family member.
Yes.
And that is so disgusting because it is so manipulative and so, like, pointed. Like, he knew exactly what he was doing. Like, he was giving Ben what he needed in that moment, but it was all false. It was all an illusion. And that just it hurts so much.
We're just going to cue the Lady Gaga song. The perfect illusion.
Abracadabra, this bitch Snoke away.
Oh my god.
Also, I wrote down something that I had when I was still in school for a psychology class. Obviously, Ben Solo, the person, his needs weren't met and he wasn't seen. Like, his basic needs weren't met. And so when all you know is stress, as in, like, negative situations or whatever, or you're told you're bad because he had, like, the pull to the dark side a little bit, you know? You internalize that and then you use that against yourself. Like, you weaponize it. So you harm yourself through that. And then that pattern gets stabilized. All of these outbursts make so much sense. When Rey's like, you're a monster, and he says, yes, I am. He internalized it and uses that against him. Like, yeah, everybody has told me I'm a monster my whole life, so it must be true. Yes, I am. But because he doesn't want to be, he has that split second of regret. Like, yeah, I know I'm a monster. People have been telling me this my whole life, but I don't want to be. I kind of have to be, because now I'm on the dark side, and now my master is Snoke, and he wants me to be this monster version of myself, so I kind of have to be, but I don't actually really want to be, you know?
Right.
I still have the pull to the light side. So
he's literally like, go kill your mom now that you killed your dad, and you can barely hang on for dear life. Go kill your mom now. Prepare my ship!
Yeah.
Prepare my ship.
Prepare my ship.
We did mention this kind of briefly, but, like, when Snoke and Ben are talking, you know, he talks about maybe joining the Knights of Ren. It goes back to when Luke and him and then that other guy ran into them in this, like, cave temple thing. And I mentioned to you, maybe it'll tell me the name when I look. Elfrona?
That's the temple, but the guy... That's the old guy that he...
Oh, my bad. Yes, thank you. Sorry.
No, yeah, the person is Lor Santeca, which is the guy he kills in Force Awakens right in the beginning. That's him.
What? Are you... Sorry, my mouth was agape. Oh my god, so now I understand who that's supposed to be.
Okay, yeah.
You were so right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why he's like, I know where you come from.
Well, I guess the reason I brought it up is because they make Luke look like this fucking hero in this comic so bad at that point, and how much Ben respected him and wanted to harness that same. He was so like stoic and just like confident, but like humbly confident, like full fighting and not cocky like the Knights of Ren were. Like it's just a whole different type of energy. And Ben just like was like watching, you know, and it was so cute how Luke was like, okay, protect Lore, you know, and Ben's like, I will, you know, that's so crazy because then it's just such a stark difference from like how menacing it is to actually try to murder your nephew and then be the same man that's over here like flawlessly fighting these men of the dark side. Like, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, we don't know what Luke was going through. If like everything's just like brushed under the rug, nothing's spoken about, conflicts aren't really addressed, like emotional conflicts. Anything emotional is always suppressed. So of course, at some point, Luke is gonna have like a turning point too. Like that's not healthy for anybody, whether you're a Jedi, you're a Sith, you're a senator, you're a farmer. That's not good. At one point, it's just gonna, you know, be done and over with, and then you're just gonna have that tipping point and you're gonna blow up. And that's probably what Luke had too, because he's highly traumatized too. You know, we can't forget that. He also has the future of all of these, the younglings. You know, he's responsible for them. He has a lot of pressure too. The pressure of the galaxy. He built this academy, so he's training the new Jedi Order. So there's that, like, you know, people know about that, obviously. So there's that pressure on him. Then of course Leia gives her son, so he has that pressure, like, oh fuck, I can't, you know, I can't fuck this up for her because she's my twin. You know, she entrusted me with her child, which of course he fucks up, but still, like, in the beginning. And like all of this built up energy, all of this built up frustration, and he probably also has that sense of failure somehow. Because again, it's a reoccurring pattern. This is such a dysfunctional family, man. I don't want to see him too much as the villain because I understand the psychology behind trauma. And like, I don't want to paint him as, oh, how, like, he was such a fucking asshole. But he just had that tipping point, and it just happened to be Ben on the receiving end. All of those, you know, when he like looks into his mind, that was manipulated by Snoke. Like that was Snoke's, his influence. Like he was putting those nightmares into Ben's mind, and Luke just happened to be looking at that while Ben was having those nightmares. And then he's like, oh fuck, like this is his future. Oh no. It's just like, no, Ben's just having nightmares like every single night because Snoke is putting them there. So there's more. This is so complex.
How does like one Force user and another Force user not sense that some other Force user is impeding? Does that make sense? Like, unless Palpatine is so strong with his crumbly fucking stupid fingers that like you can't be like, oh, there. I sense another Force being tampering with yours. What the fuck is that? Like, how is that not like a thing? Like, we can just get into it to each other's brains without anyone else ever knowing.
I think just because Ben is kind of like the vessel, he's like the middleman. So maybe he penetrated Ben's mind, planted the seed, and then that sounds so sexual. I'm sorry. That sounds so. Let me rephrase that. He penetrated his mind, planted the nightmares, the seed for fear and suffering and blah blah blah, left, and then maybe Luke, but I don't know, like I don't know if that's like a thing that Sith are able to do, put in the influence and then just pop off, I don't know.
It's just like, it's like you can tell when someone has the Force in them, so it's like...
Yeah, I might have a theory, I don't know if it's correct, but Luke always says, I sense a dark presence within Ben. What if that presence just was Snoke? It wasn't Ben, like it wasn't ever Ben. Like that darkness that he sensed in Ben.
Yes, Shelley.
I think it even says it in here, hold on. I think we're on to something.
That is so smart.
Maybe Ben Solo was never prone. Oh my god, what if Ben Solo never was prone to the dark side? And it was always Snoke all along. He just planted. And naturally, Ben never would have had tendencies for the dark side. It was all, oh my god, Shannon.
You just flip the fuck out. Like we just figured this out.
Maybe there was like an inkling, just like an itty bitty teeny tiny little bit of darkness because of, you know, his genes, DNA. But that full on presence that Luke feared and sensed, that was Snoke, and he just thought it was Ben. Oh my god. He almost murdered his nephew for nothing. Oh, that is...
So then that means the theory that I had is corrected, that you can sense, but he couldn't sense that it was another force being within Ben. It was more of just like, I can sense the presence, but it's not. So that's the annoying thing, is that like, they can't sense that, so...
Yeah, but that checks out. That completely checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if, like,
holy shit,
Grogu can sort of, like, reach out, of course it's like an amplifier, that little rock thing. Of course that's an amplifier for, like, the senses and the Force or whatever. But still, if he can, like, reach Ben from across the galaxy, then, of course, Luke is going to be able to sense Snoke. But he's just going to not recognize that presence as Snoke, but as Ben, quote-unquote. Oof.
He was not meant to be on the dark side at all.
Yeah. Well, that was intense. That's gonna lead to self-fulfilling prophecy. If Luke is gonna think that Ben is eventually gonna turn to the dark side, he's gonna behave in a way that'll influence Ben's reaction, which will actually lead him to that outcome. That's the definition of self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't know why I just had to say that, but...
No, you're good.
But like, yeah, so of course, if you have this idea in your head, you're going to react in a way, you're going to behave in a way that makes that idea true. And then the person on the receiving end is going to react that way to your behavior / reactions. And then it's going to lead to that outcome no matter what. Oof. I just love psychology so much. And like, oh my God, I could literally write an essay on Ben Solo.
I took psychology and abnormal psychology in like community college, and it was like the best.
I went to a school that like focused on psychology and pedagogy, or just like, you know, education in general. And then in university, I had psychology and stuff like that too. So those were my most fun classes. This specific episode is so important because I feel like there's so much psychology and like so much stuff we can take into like real life. Kind of translate that to our own lives. Yeah, like all of these things that, like all of these negative experiences and all of these mental health issues are so important to talk about, you know?
Yeah, I mean, as you grow up in your teens and as an adult, it's like a lot of things that you go through, a lot of them, if not all of them, aren't your fault at all. Whether it's abuse from your parents, abuse at school, bullying, maybe you have some sort of sexual trauma, neglect. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. It's going to affect you in some way. And a lot of the time when you have that kind of trauma, you blame yourself. Like, what could I have done differently? And that in those moments that you experience that kind of trauma, you are not prepared to know what to do about it. It's a good opportunity to understand, to have some grace. I keep telling myself this because I'm always like, always pretending that I'm okay and trying to fool everyone that I'm okay. And it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay if you need to cry it out, and to understand that you've been through a lot. Baby boy.
He said that. Yeah, it's okay to not be okay all the time.
I just want you to know it's okay to be fine. That you deserve to be fine.
He's so sweet. I want him to throw me over his shoulder. Anyways, so... But literally,
no more pizza!
Holy...
How dare you? That is not cool.
No more pizza!
No more pizza! But he's literally carrying her and the fucking whatever she's putting together, that baby pen or whatever.
The bed.
The bed, yes. Like, he's just like carrying them both, like, no problem. What the hell? But like, it's okay, and to give yourself grace and understand you didn't do this to yourself, and that you can take the time to heal and do what you need to do to make yourself feel better.
Exactly.
That's healthy for you and not going to harm anybody. So.
Yes. Yeah, and like take a step back, and it's okay to like look at it from a point of view. I guess is a little that's probably a little hard to do, but like take a step back, look at the situation, reflect on it, and then just really process it. Because a lot of people are like, "Oh, this is a negative situation. Move along. Don't want to talk about it. Let's go to the next thing." You know, it's like, no, really look at it.
Yeah.
What could you have learned? But always, even whether it's a positive situation or a negative situation, what can I learn from this? I had like depressive episodes. I've talked to you about this before. I had intense panic attacks and stuff like that. A few years ago, I was at my lowest, like absolute lowest. However, I'm still glad it happened. I mean, again, I never, ever want to relive that. It was horrible. I'm still glad I went through that because I'm so much stronger now, and I will never, ever go back to that point. I will never allow myself to be that low, because I know how to deal with all of these triggers, and like pressure and self-doubt, and I know how to cope with it now. And I reflected, I healed from it, and I now know how to protect myself. So that's why, even though it was the worst time of my life, I'm still glad it happened, because now I'm stronger and I feel better, and I know I will never, ever relive something like that again.
Let me open my Kindle so I can see.
Oh, look, it's
What?
a bitch. Her name is Vo. Yes, indubitably.
Indubitably we can, darling. Yes.
Oh, yes, darling. Let's
Yes.
continue. Let's proceed, yes. The attack on the temple, which, by the way, the planet is called Ossus. And it's like the mid-rim, I think. No, it's on the it's in the outer rim, in the Adega system or something. We all know that Luke attempted to unalive his nephew.
Indeed.
Indubitably. Again, that dark presence that we now understand, that dark presence that Luke sensed wasn't Ben. That was Snoke in his nightmares. And,
Crazy.
he tries to unalive him. Ben does the right thing and tries to protect himself, because that is like the ultimate betrayal. All of these issues that he's been having are confirmed. And his master, his uncle, his family, somebody that's supposed to love and nurture him, betrays him while he's sleeping. So that's like, it's like not even like an offensive way, but just behind your back while you're sleeping. That's...
Yeah, Luke won't even face him, to him. He's so cowardly, killing him in his sleep.
Yeah. And then, of course, Ben, uses the Force. His hut crumbles. He wakes up and everything is still fine. He thinks Luke is gone or dead because he can't sense him. And he looks to the temple and there's smoke. How would he have started a fire while unconscious?
Do it.
There is a moment where you can tell everything is fine. See, he wakes up, the temple is fine, and he goes, "Oh, why?" Like there's a fire. All of a sudden, like, dude, the boy was unconscious while this happened, and oh, look, there's a zap. There is a thunder strike or a lightning strike. I wonder
Who could that be?
who that could be, And he's like, yeeted off. And then this moment right here, he goes, no. He tries to run in to the fire, most likely trying to to see if he can save someone. There's another explosion and he's yeeted back again. And he says, I didn't want this. And then Snoke's voice comes in and says, and you did not choose it, Ben. The Jedi did, Skywalker. And, look at his face. He didn't want to do that. He didn't kill anybody, nor did he want to kill anybody. Oh, this is, the epitome of misunderstood character. Misunderstood villain. He didn't do any of this.
It just made me think of that scene where, that interview with Stephen Colbert, and that it's actually really cute because Stephen's actually referring to Adam, do you think you're a hero in your story? And he's like, oh, no. But Adam thinks he's talking about Kylo. And he's like, oh, yeah, maybe he thinks he does, but I don't think he does.
But I don't, this is such an actory thing to say. I don't think of him as evil. I think of him as someone who thinks he's right as opposed to someone who thinks he's evil.
Yeah. Ben will really never ever think he's a hero because everyone's conditioned him, first of all, to be a bad guy. And then he's now forced to do bad things. And he's like, the fuck? So, yeah, he's there's no way he thinks he's a hero. Even at the end when he saves Rey, he's just like, no, it was the right thing to do.
Exactly. So he's, in front of the temple, it's burning, right? Mm-hmm. And he's just he's probably, at the tip of his depression now, so he's just oh, fuck. What do I do now? And then Vo, Hennix, and Ty are on a mission, and they come back and see that everything's on fire. They can't sense Skywalker. They can only sense Ben. And everybody else is dead, or so they think.
Right.
And that's why, when Han Solo explained to Rey, oh, Luke Skywalker, this kid, he turned to the dark side, killed, or took a handful of his students and killed the rest, or slaughtered the rest, that handful of students was Hennix, Ty, and Vo. In the beginning of like Force Awakens, or when we saw Force Awakens, we thought, oh my god, the Knights of Ren are a group of Luke Skywalker's old students. That's not the case.
Right.
Now we know who they are.
Right. Yeah.
And that handful of students also then died later. And not at the hands of Ben. So, and here, Ty is trying to talk to him again, like, hey, what happened? And then you can always, like, see in his eyes, like, his reactions, like, there's that little bit of, oh my god, I didn't want to do this, but then it's like, oh, they're not going to believe me anyway, so he just, like, has the mask. He literally, his face drops every single time. Something blows up, and Hennix is injured. And so, yeah, he storms off, and his droid asks, wait, what was it? You have not yet entered a destination, Master. Can I calculate a route for you? Perhaps you intend to visit home? It has been some time. And then you see Leia, and then he goes, and then he's like, I have the route to Hosnian Prime pre-calculated. Shall I enter it? And then, later, because it, like, jumps back and forth between scenes. And Ben goes, no, not Hosnian Prime, I'm going somewhere else. And, like, the whole thing, him storming, and it's just so sad. And then, of course, Ty, Hennix, and Vo, they go after Ben, Mm-hmm. And the first thing Ben does is he looks for Snoke. Like, he goes to elsewhere. Mm-hmm. What is the place called? It's like this spherical, artificial world. Here, it looks like this. Mm-hmm. And that's where Snoke is hanging out.
Yes. It's just called Elsewhere. What the fuck? All right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Rude.
And, like, also, when they, like, hop onto the ship, like, they're obviously following him. And he still doesn't kill anybody. He just shoots at their engine, so they're incapable of, following him. And, like, he doesn't kill anybody. He just, like, not once. Like, he only deflects, and he only, when he does attack, it's not them directly. It's just, like, either an explosion or something, so they back off so he can get away, but he doesn't, like, attack them in order to hurt them whatsoever. And then, Snoke obviously comes up. And he's just being all disgusting, hugging him. I'm so pleased you came to me. Bitch, fuck off. Disgusting. And then he's just, like, telling him about, like, the shadow, and that there are certain powers that could help him, and basically the dark side is going to help him or soothe him, and where he can, like, find comfort.
Oh my god.
Like, just that whole scene is just so gross. And, like, when he says, I hate that name, when he's like, wait, what is it? Here, hold on. But you were asking me about the Knights of Ren. I think I could learn from them. And then Snoke says, yes, perhaps the Knights would be a good stop on your journey. There is only so much I can teach you. At the very least, you would no longer need to deny yourself in the way Luke Skywalker required. Which, yes, is somewhat true, of course. But I should say, Ben Solo, Jedi to be, the Knights of Ren might not be interested in him. Nobody's ever interested in Ben Solo. Like that's such a reoccurring theme. Nobody cares about Ben Solo. Like, how can I benefit? Like, how can I use him, weaponize him? And then Ben says, I hate that name. And I want to talk about that real quick. Yeah, I know. So, of course, the name Ben, his namesake is Ben Kenobi. So he was named after him, which is even more prominent because of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. If you haven't watched that, it's really emotional. I really enjoyed it. A lot of people hate it, but I really enjoyed it. And even if you haven't watched it, it's still understandable why Leia chose the name Ben, because Ben Kenobi was her last hope in A New Hope. When she's like, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. So, and he came through, But also, as a little girl, she relied on Ben Kenobi so much. It was just so sweet. And so she named him after that. So there's another thing Ben Solo has to live up to, is the legendary Ben Kenobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then, of course, Solo, because his father, he was a captain in the rebellion, and smuggler part aside, he's a hero. So there's also this pilot rebellion hero that he has to live up to as well. So his name for him encompasses so many legends and standards that he has to live up to that he feels like he's not able to do that. So his name to him stands for failure.
And he kind of goes into it a little bit more with, was he fighting Ty? And he said, Solo isn't even my dad's name. Like, even that's not even a real name. Like,
that's lies too. Yeah.
Do we know his real name?
What is Han Solo's real fucking name?
Nobody knows. In the movie Han Solo, or just Solo, A Star Wars Story, he gets his name from like this officer because he wants to relocate. Like he wants to enlist in I don't even know what military branch that would be. I forgot. He enlists in the military, in the Imperial military? I don't even remember. I think it's the Imperial. It has to be during that time. Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't know what his last name is because he's an orphan. He only knows his name is Han. Maybe he even chose that name himself. I don't remember that. He goes up to the recruiter and he says, you know, I want to enlist, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, what's your last name? And he goes, I don't have a last name. And then the officer looks around and he goes, oh, you're alone. So Solo. Like, that's the origin story of his Han Solo's name.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know how to feel about that, but like, it's like so...
Like you just fucking name
random.
him while you're enlisting him?
Yeah. It could have been so much cooler. So, of course, that part of Ben's family, he knows nothing about.
Right.
Maybe he has, like, cousins and shit. Maybe he has, like, uncles and then aunts, and he doesn't know, because Han doesn't know.
Right?
That's crazy.
That's true. Just the fact that, like, Ben just feels like he doesn't really know who he is because Solo isn't Han's real name. So it's like, well, that's, you know, he's having such an identity crisis that's like a closed gate that he can't explore. He doesn't know, you know, and not that that's Han's fault, but it's just more of him trying to grasp who he is. And
huge identity crisis. That's like another issue. Huge. It's like the definition of identity crisis. And so then Snoke tells him to look for the Knights of Ren because they might be the group for him. They might be his path. And of course, that's like every single stepping stone is laid forth by Snoke. Like that, he's just like, here's my next little piece. Here's my next little puzzle piece. And I mean, of course, Ben is so, not naive, that's the wrong word, but he's so vulnerable emotionally that he just falls right into it. He's the sounds horrible, but he's the perfect victim because he's been abused and neglected his whole life. Any shred of hope, any little shred of kindness or comfort, obviously he's gonna gravitate towards that. And in that case, it's Snoke. Even though, yes, it is a facade, in that moment, to Ben Solo, it's real. They go to meet the Knights of Ren, which he had already met when he was, like, what, 13? 14? On his first mission. And already Ren was, like, telling him, like, hey, kid, I can see the shadow in you. Which I love, by the way, that they call the dark side of the Force the shadow. I really like that.
that is really cool. But like what we just mentioned, it wasn't Ben's shadow that they were sensing. Probably our own personal made-up headcanon.
Yeah, maybe.
That could be real, but we don't know.
Yeah. And like that's the moment where Ty kind of turns on him too, because oh no, he hurt Hennix. He shot at us. He outmaneuvered us with the ship and then shot the engine so we would be delayed or, you know, hurt, but he didn't actually hurt you fuckers. And then that's the moment where Ben is just like, fuck. Even Ty is against me now. I don't care anymore.
It really shows how they don't know him. And I mean, like, you can still, even if someone doesn't really open up to you that way, spending that much time with somebody in training, you're going to know them in some form and capacity. You know he's a good pilot. You know he's a good this. You know he's a good that. And he's still not trying to kill you. He's still making all these strategies to just have you just stay the fuck back. He's like, let me go. And you're like, no, I'm not going to let you go. But he doesn't want to hurt you, so he's just trying to stop you from following him.
Exactly.
Like, he shut off the engine so that you would stop, not that you die.
Yeah.
Hello? I can't.
Hello?
Is anybody home in that noggin of yours?
Literally. Like, this is before he goes to meet the Knights of Ren, and he's, like, fighting off Vo and Ty. Like, he still never tries to hurt them. It's always accidents. So he, like, jumps onto this cliff, and then Vo follows him. Hennix can't because he's still injured, so Ty stays with him. And then, like, she attacks him, and because he's so much more powerful, he, like, pushes her with the Force somewhat over the cliff. He's just, like, pushing her away, but because he's so powerful, she goes over the cliff. And that wasn't intended. Like, that wasn't his intention. And that he goes, oh, shit! Or what does he say? He's like, oh, no! Or something. and he grabs
Yeah.
onto her through the force, like he's still levitating her, like he's holding her, you know, but she's probably too heavy or whatever, and then she's still like in midair. He's trying to hold on. Hennix comes up behind him and attacks him because he thinks he's trying to hurt Vo, but he's saving her. And then because he gets attacked by Hennix, he lets go of Vo to like deflect Hennix's attack, and then she falls, and then Ty's like, oh my god, he let her fall over the cliff. No! Y'all fuckers are just going at this the wrong way. You know, you're just attacking. He's just trying to help and deflect. And then Hennix like spins his lightsaber towards Ben. He deflects through the force, and it's like a boomerang effect, and then he kills Hennix by accident. Well, Hennix kills himself, basically. So he's literally just deflecting, and then like he never deliberately kills anybody. And then, of course, Ty, you know, goes against him and is like, oh my god, you killed Hennix. You have to be the bad guy. Like, fuck off. You can fuck right off.
I'm so angry.
Yeah.
Like, I could feel myself being so fucking angry how Kylo is. Because of all the shit that he's gone through. Like, I can feel the rage building in me.
It makes
like,
total
I
sense.
understand why he's so mad.
And, like, everybody that could let him down did let him down. Except for Rey. My little cinnamon roll.
Aww.
I love Rey so much. I just love her. And then he, like, tells Ty and Vo to, like, get into the temple, and then he, like, lets the entrance, like, crumble so that they're trapped. Again, so they will let him go so he doesn't have to kill anyone else.
Right.
At this point, I'm just like, y'all deserve to die. Does that mean?
The only thing I can imagine is, like, Luke being there and being like, okay, what the fuck, guys? Let's just stop.
Yeah.
But it makes you wonder, like, if Luke kind of just showed up, would he take responsibility for what he did? Would he try to cover it up? Would he try to defend Ben? Would he try to circumnavigate and help the other Jedis understand, you know, what exactly happened?
So I think that probably would try to intervene. However, in that situation, he would be the wrong person to do it. He would only further aggravate Ben, because in that moment, like in that dynamic, Luke tried to kill him. So of course Ben would see him as the enemy. So Ben wouldn't let Luke de-escalate the situation. He would literally just have to stand by and watch. Because he would, like, his presence would just make the whole situation explode even more. I think the only person that probably could have had some effect on Ben would probably be Leia.
Yeah.
I feel like she would have been gentle enough and, like, not understanding enough, but like I feel like she would have the correct reaction in that moment to kind of de-escalate the situation. Maybe not console Ben in the way he needs. She's also a person that he views as, oh, I let her down, so she thinks the worst of me because as a kid she called me monster. So maybe she wouldn't be able to remedy the situation completely, but she would definitely be able to de-escalate the situation a little bit more.
Right. Well, didn't Leia sense something in the Force with Ben? Like, when he did something, like, it shows her face in the comic. I thought I remembered seeing that.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that in a minute. Like, that's the moment when he turns to the dark side. She feels it and Rey feels it, because they're a dyad.
Right.
And so all of this happens, and then Ty and Vo are like, all right, we need to team up and we need to stop him because he's a fucking murderer. And I'm just like, y'all are the murderers. Y'all are so stupid.
Yeah.
Hennix is dead because of you guys, not because of Ben. Yeah, so
100%.
Then he seeks out the Knights of Ren on Varnak in the Mid-Rim. Never heard of that before. Never heard of her.
I don't know her. Don't know her.
I don't know her. Ren? Never heard of her. Really quick, I want to share a quick story if it's okay.
Please.
A few years ago, I met the actors from the Knights of Ren at a Comic-Con. And it was all four, not all four, obviously there are 6 Knights of Ren and then Ren. And 4 of them were there. And I got autographs.
Oh.
And I was there with my dad and my friend. Like, I was in line. My dad was walking around. And the thing is, my dad knows everybody. Like, this is, whenever we're, like, walking around, it's so crazy. We could be in, like, Italy and he would probably meet somebody that he knows. You know,
crazy.
It's crazy. When we're on base, like, hey, Johnny, hey, what's up? He's a very likable person, and, you know, we were there. And my dad was just kind of walking around, and I was like, the Knights of Ren are there. A, I want to listen to their panel, and B, I want to get their autographs. So I stood in line. I paid for the autographs. And then I walk up to all four. They're like right next to each other. Oh, just so you know, it's the actors for Trudgeon, Apalek, Karuk, and Cardo. Those 4 actors. I walk up and I'm like, oh my god, it's so nice to see you, blah, 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 blah. And I get to the 4th one and all 4 were like, oh yeah, oh, Shelly, aren't you Johnny's daughter?
What the fuck?
And I'm like, excuse me? Excuse the fuck out of me? I looked at my friend and he looked at me and we were like, wait, what? You know my dad? And the thing, like, I didn't know him beforehand, but my dad just walked up to their table, to their booths, and just started talking to them, because that's just how my dad is. So they knew beforehand, like, they were talking to him and just, like, having fun. And when I got up to them, they were like, oh yeah, I know your dad. I'm like, what? I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Again, my dad
literally
knows everybody. Here's the photo, if you want to see. Here it is. So yeah.
Oh my god, Shelly, now you just need Adam's signature.
Yes. I mean, I want to catch them
right
all.
in the middle.
All of the knights.
Gotta catch them.
I got, Apalek, Trudgeon, Karuk, and Cardo. I want Vicky. I want Vikral, and of course Ushar, and then obviously Ren. And like, before that happened, I actually saw the actor for, I think it was Karuk. I was like looking at comics and he was standing like right next to me, and I was like, oh, that's a knight of friend right there. And then I just kind of like smiled at him. I said, hey, how you doing? And he's like, hey, how are you? And then we kind of chit chat for just a little bit, like, how are you, liking the con and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we were just, just pleasantries. And then I was like, oh, should I ask? Oh, I don't know. So I was like, can I have a picture? Could we like maybe take a photo? He's like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And then his bodyguard came up and she's like, no, we can't do that because it's unfair for the people who paid for photos. Like, I understand that. But like, he was like right there, I was talking to him.
Oh,
yeah.
Shall we?
And he was so sweet.
So
and like later when I talked to him again, he was like, oh, we just, yeah. And then like in the middle while I was talking to him, his mom called him. It was so cute. That was adorable. He was like, I'm sorry I have to take this. I was like, yeah, go ahead. Sure. Yeah, so then Vo is dueling the Knights of Ren, and Ben is sort of dueling Tai and talking to him. Basically, he disarms Tai.
Yes.
Tai is like, kill me if you have to, Ben, or don't. And then Ben does not kill him. Ren does. Again, Ben didn't kill anybody. And then he just like completely falls, over the cliff of depression. And then he turns around and like realizes that Ren is just fucking with him. And he realizes like nobody's actually going to help him. Everybody's just out for their own benefit. And they're all just using him. So he's like, fuck it, I am the shadow. And then he kills Ren, and he is then the master of the Knights of Ren. And then, they bow to him. And the moment that happens, he decides to do that, is where he turns to the dark side. And everybody senses it. Like, Rey senses it. Leia senses it. Where is she? There she is. Palpatine, obviously, and Snoke, they sense it. So Vo is still alive, and she is the only person that he actively, like, willingly kills. He's like, why do you still want to die? But again, he's like now on the dark side, and he's like fully depressed and fully, he's done with the world, he's done.
Yeah.
And so he's like, why do you even want to live? Like, there's no hope left in him. Complete absence of hope, so. And then he bleeds out his saber because now he's on the dark side. And by the way, look at him. He is gorgeous when he's doing that. Bleeds it out, and that moment is like so sweet because like everybody he loves pops up into his mind while he's turning to the dark side. So everybody he loves is Luke, Lando, Leia, Han, Chewie, and surprisingly Tai. Like, he's still like, he's also part of the people that he loves. Aww. And then it ends with Snoke asking, what is your name? And then he ignites his new saber, and then he's Kylo Ren, and that is the rise of Kylo Ren.
This picture gets me every time. The one that shows him in his Jedi, and then the other one where he's like now Kylo. Like, that picture got me. I started to like tear up looking at that.
Yeah. Like, there's so much beautiful artwork in here. It's just, I mean, look at this.
Incredible.
Like, look at that. They got his look like
Yeah.
so well. His puppy dog eyes and just like, yeah. But this is like this
Honestly,
one is
yeah, that was one thing that really took me
beautiful.
aback, especially in the newer comic. But this comic, yes, like the way they capture Adam's beauty in this, especially in like the close-ups,
Yeah.
you're just like, wow. You know what I mean? Just, it's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, it was a wild ride, and I get it. I feel for him so much. Like, obviously, the movies, already we felt for him. People that understand, like, people that get it, really understand the character and relate to him. But after reading this comic,
Yes.
bro, that shattered me. And, like, I've always been not anti-Jedi, but like I've always been very suspicious and wary of the Jedi. I don't agree with a lot of things, but that just like proved my point. I mean, I get Anakin. I get him. Like, even Obi-Wan Kenobi almost left the Order. Ahsoka did. She knew what she was doing. She got it.
Yeah.
You can't be one extreme.
just-
You gotta find a balance.
100%. And it's just, I think the standards are too high for Jedi. It's, I mean, even if you're looking at that from like, not to bring religion into it, but like think about priesthood, think about, you know, these people swearing celibacy to their, you know, religion. And it's just like, that's not what we're supposed to be. So it's no wonder there's all these issues that come about because of that. You know what I mean? So it's like, not saying the Jedi are comparable to priests in that way, but it's as far as like holding yourself back of things that come naturally to you as a human being.
Yeah, they always call it like the Jedi religion, the Sith religion. That, wait, didn't I think I have a book about that real quick. Yeah, it's The Secret of the Sith. There's like a lot of insight into that as well. And it is the religion. It's just the opposite of the Jedi, you know? And like there's a lot of good things in here, but again, you always have to find balance, you know? But I think this book, like, I'm gonna like talk about this when we're talking about the book. Not the books, the movies. There's so many parallels between priesthood and the Jedi Order, you know? Like Christian priesthood, I mean. Or I mean, actually any religion.
Any religion, yeah.
Controlled, like a system, you know. It's just so much to think about and like a lot to be able to relate to and like translate to your own life and translate to our reality, you know.
I really hope that, you know, talking about Ben's past and how he became Kylo, because people's exposure to Kylo is literally the movies, and they've probably seen it like once or twice. And I feel like, you know, they got to see Anakin's story. They saw him as Darth first, and then watched him become Darth Vader. And then it's like, okay, well, there's all this sympathy for Anakin. And it's like, where is it for Kylo? But it's because his full story isn't told. And then when it's finally told, it's like, well, hello, this explains so much. You know, when you only, you know, touch on it in the movies, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Also,
So-
I think most of the haters are from a different generation that don't understand the mentality of our generation. And these movies kind of cater to our mentality and the issues of our generation. And so a lot of people won't understand that.
Yeah,
and will see it as, you know, nothing to be taken seriously, unfortunately.
You
But,
snowflakes.
boomers.
You fucking whiny ass snowflakes.
But that's yeah, it's just a beautiful character story and the symbolism behind it and like what you can draw from it, and it's just so real. And Adam, I think that the whole thing is just a testament to Adam and how much effort and love he put into this character and how much work, you know, because it means a lot to him and it shows. It really shows. Without, I don't think it would have been the same, and I don't think it would have been as important and as, what's the word?
Impactful?
Yes, thank you. It wouldn't be as impactful as had it been any other actor, you know, because Adam just approaches this character so beautifully and so detailed. It's chef's kiss. He just does it so well.
We wouldn't be getting the Kylo that we got in these comics and Ben if it wasn't for Adam's portrayal, period. Because he is
100%.
Kylo, period. He is Kylo. 100% forever. No one's gonna step in and be like, I'm the new Kylo. No, bitch. No, they didn't do that. They didn't do that for any other role except, you know, not for Han, not for Leia, not for Luke, anybody. They were all the same fucking person the whole time. Yeah. It will always be Adam.
Yeah. And just because, like, nobody can do it like Adam. Nobody.
Preach.
Ever.
Preach. Preach.
Yeah. So, hats off, man. Hats off, Adam. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Adam Driver.
Even though we didn't
For
really
this
talk about the
character.
movies.
Like-
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So if I highly doubt he's ever going to see this, but Adam, if you see this, thank you so much for this character. You have no idea how much it means to so many of us and how much this character helped so many of us. I will be forever grateful to you just because of this character and how much it helped me in my real life. And, you know, okay.
Shelly. Oh, baby. I love you.
It's been 10 years, but I'm serious.
Oh, Shelly. I want to hug you.
I have a lot.
No, this is why we did this, Shelly. This is why we made this podcast.
Yeah. I will forever be grateful to you. A lot of things I'm going to keep obviously to I spoke to you, Shannon, about a lot of this stuff, but there's some things I want to keep to myself that I don't need to lay out on this platform, but yeah, no, it helped me a lot.
But I mean, it's like Adam really will never, he will never maybe fully conceptualize how he has affected and influenced so many of those that look up to him and his fans and everything, but that's okay because there's so many different ways that we can show our appreciation. You know, I know you do, Shelly, with, you know, pretty much everything that Adam has done and said has influenced you. Yeah. His portrayal, you cosplay as his characters, you know, so that's an artistic, you know, you make cosplays of outfits that he's worn. Like, that's a big influence, and you're celebrating him in those ways, you know?
Whoever's watching this might think, oh, this is so exaggerated, but when I say Adam and the character of Kylo Ren saved my life, I'm not joking. I'm really not joking. Had I not seen the hope and, like, the development of this character and everything that the character stands for, and the healing process and everything that comes with it, yeah, I just want to, like, you know, emphasize how important, even whether they're fictional characters or not, how important they can be to a person. Adam did a lot for me. Don't know him personally. Probably never will, but he's helped me in ways that are unfathomable. And I'm just forever indebted and grateful to him. This is not just a hyperfixation or an obsession or a fangirling moment. It's so much more than that. It's so much deeper than that. And I'm just very lucky that I was able to find this character and Adam as a role model and somebody to bring my hope back to me and overcome all of the darkness and find that spark of hope again and turn back to the light side. Thank you, Kylo / Ben Solo and Adam. Yeah, so that was
/ Adam. Thank you. We love you.
Yeah. We love you. Obviously, in the most platonic way ever. I love you.
Totally. Yeah, bro. No. No, it's so important. I'm so glad you said it. And, you know, I mean, I've talked about how he's influenced me, and, you know, he's part of everyone's path that, you know, has been impacted by Adam, you know, like he's so influential. So that's important to remember.
Also, I kind of don't want him to see this because I don't want to put that pressure on him. Like, indirect pressure, like, you saved my life, you know what I mean? That'd be a lot to deal with. So, I'm hoping he never sees this. Like, I want him to know that, you know, he has amazing influence and very positive influence on his fans, and, you know, but I also don't want to, like, push that onto him because that would be unfair too. So
no, I think it's fair that you tell, because I told him how he influenced me, you know what I mean, and even if it was just for a brief sentence. But I feel like when you say it like that, your character Kylo helped me get through this, and he helped to make Kylo a reality as far as a character and bringing their story to life. Like, that's valid, Shelly. Yeah. You know, I know you're kind of afraid of, like, making him feel weird, and I was feeling the same way, like, especially because I have his face on my arm. But, like, but I think in all, he's very appreciative, you know what I mean? So I and I think it's very humbling that he can just exist in life and do what he loves and have so much of an impact on people, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful. So yeah, with that being said.
He's beautiful! Just kidding.
He's beautiful! I'm just filled with so much gratitude right now. Like, without this, I never would have met you, you know? I would have not met so many people in my life.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have met Amy, probably, you know, and Zoe and everybody, like Crystal and Kelsey and, you know, all Brittany, you know, so many people in our lives, you know.
So many.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, I'm
loving
just
Adam
filled-
and being a fan of his work and him. It creates such a beautiful community.
Oh, no, I'm not gonna cry. It's a little gassy.
Let's wrap this up. All
That
right.
was wild. That was a ride. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay fed. Try to heal from your depressions. Always remember you are enough. There's no dumbass, overly high expectations you have to meet. You are perfect just the way you are. And there's always hope.
Just be you, baby. Just be you.
Just be you. Because you are the perfect version of
Yes.
you. Alright. Do we want to,
You is smart. You is kind. You is important.
you is beautiful.
You can find us at Good Soup Great Driver on Instagram and TikTok. We're streaming on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. I am at Starry Eyes, StarrYYEYES on Instagram, and What's Up Shannon on TikTok. Shelly.
You can find me on Instagram and on TikTok at I've Always Been Solo, BENSOLO. My name's
Yes.
We're so happy you stuck around for season 2.
This is the saga, so it may be 3 to 4 episodes depending on how much we talk. But yes, so this is like the pre-Force Awakens. So we'll talk about Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Tros, which is the Rise of Skywalker. So depending on how much we talk, which is a lot, it could be 3 to 4 episodes of only Kylo, you guys, scattered throughout the seasons.
Yes. Thanks for listening, guys, and welcome back.
Thanks!
Bye!
If you survived this episode, please go follow us on our socials that we mentioned, and give us a follow on YouTube and Spotify so you are notified when we post. Stay fed, rats. Great driver.